Hi guys, I'm Joanna Marily Gatsby from 12 ABMA and I am here to discuss about media and information literacy. Expectations. In this PPT, you will be able to learn facts about media and information literacy. Specifically, this module will help you to first, define media information and technology literacy. Second, understand critical thinking and its importance. And lastly, identify the similarities and differences between and among media literacy, information literacy, and technology literacy. Brief introduction. Media literacy is not about protecting your child from unwanted media announcement. Some groups are urging families to simply turn off the TV. In fact, the media is deeply rooted in our cultural environment. Those who turn off their devices cannot escape from today's media culture. The media no longer just influences our culture, they are our culture. General overview of media literacy. Media literacy includes both empowerment and protection trait perspectives. People in media literacy are proficient in composing media messages, demonstrating that they understand the specific nature of each media, creating media and participating as active citizens. History of media literacy. In the early 1990s, media literacy education began to appear in the government's English curriculum as a result of growing awareness of the central role of the media in modern culture. Almost all 50 states have languages that support media literacy in their curriculum. Media literacy. Media literacy is about helping students be competent, critical, literate in all forms of media, and giving them control over what they see and hear, rather than allowing them to interpret. They control the interpretation. Being media literacy isn't about remembering facts and statistics about the media. It's about learning to ask the right questions about what you see, read, and hear. Len Masterman, a prominent author of Teaching the Media, calls it significant autonomy, the ability to think for yourself. Without this basic ability, an individual has full human dignity and cannot exercise citizenship in a democratic society. Being a citizen means both understanding and contributing to the debate of the times. UNESCO defines media literacy as the ability to decipher, analyze, evaluate, and generate communication in many ways. It's a 21st century approach to education. It provides a framework for accessing, analyzing, rating, creating, and participating in news in a variety of formats, from printed matter to video to the web. Media literacy provides not only an understanding of the role of media in society, but also the basic research and self-expression skills needed by democratic citizens. Critical thinking. History and general overview of critical thinking. In critical thinking media literacy, the third important concept media is interpreted through individual lenses, but is the same as the important concept of audience. The fourth important concept media deals with money is the same as the important concept of institution. Media analysis. An essential part of media literacy education can develop critical thinking skills by enhancing observation and interpretation. For example, students can explore and ask questions about producer stereotypes, prejudices, and hidden motives. Critical thinking. Media literacy has many basic elements, one of which is critical thinking. Critical thinking is the wisdom that actively and skillfully conceptualizes, applies, analyzes, synthesizes, and/or evaluates information collected or generated through observation, experience, reflection, reasoning, or communication as a guide to beliefs and actions. A trained process, Scriven and Paul, 1992, it means thinking about your thoughts while you are thinking about improving your thoughts. In essence, critical thinking requires you to use your ability to reason. It is to be an active learner, not a passive receiver of information. Critical thinkers ask rigorous questions, rather than taking ideas and assumptions at face value. They are always open to trying to determine if ideas, discussions, and results represent the big picture, and discovering that they are not. Critical thinkers systematically identify, analyze, and solve problems, not institution or instinct. Information literacy. Information literacy is the ability to know when information will be available. Find, evaluate, effectively use, and communicate information that is needed in various formats. The history and general overview of information literacy. What is information literacy? Information literacy is the ability to find, evaluate, organize, use, and communicate information in different forms. This is specifically true in situations where decision-making, problem-solving, and knowledge acquisitions are required. The term information literacy was first printed in 1974 in a report commissioned by the National Commission on Library and Information Science by then President of the Software Information Industry Association, Paul G. Surkowski. Information literacy. Information literacy students can effectively apply information to achieve specific goals. Students with information literacy can recognize not only sources of information but also ethical, legal, and social issues. Business problems with information, Association of College and Research Libraries or ACRL, information literacy is the key to academic success and lifelong learning. The information literate student can identify the nature and extent of information needed. Academic examples: writing a thesis statement, creating a timeline and plan to complete a research paper, reading background information on a topic before researching, recognizing the difference between a library database and a website. Real-world examples: differentiating between primary, secondary, and tertiary sources for information. Devising a search strategy to find information on buying a new home. Identifying the difference between a published court decision and an article about the court case. Deciding to search for the most current information available on a medical procedure. The information literate student can find needed information effectively and efficiently. Academic examples: finding an article from the library databases, using Boolean terms and or not when searching online, locating a book on the library shelves by its call number, refining a search strategy to narrow down results in databases and search engines, choosing keywords and phrases to use in a library catalog search. Real-world examples: locating a website written by a credible botanist to help identify wildflowers, searching public archives for information on local history, requesting genealogical records through interlibrary loan, accessing a government website for local crime statistics. The information literate student can evaluate information and its sources critically. Academic examples: summarizing the main ideas of an article or book, reviewing multiple points of view to construct an opinion, exploring different sources of information, web, books, databases, primary sources. To understand the topic, analyzing the structure and logic of arguments made in lectures and speeches. Real-world examples: researching the claims made in a political ad on television, scrutinizing a Wikipedia article for accuracy, checking a website for currency of updates. The information literate student can apply information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose. Academic examples: paraphrasing an expert essay to support a position in a persuasive speech, integrating a direct quotation from a reference book into a research paper, using images from a database to prepare a group PowerPoint presentation. Real-world examples: developing a market survey based on gaps identified by reviewing studies, referencing experts to support a point during a discussion, communicating the findings of a patent search to potential product investors. The information literate student can acknowledge sources of information and ethical, legal, and socioeconomic issues surrounding information. Academic examples: citing an information source in the text of a research paper, creating a works cited page or bibliography, understanding what constitutes plagiarism, utilizing fair use and copyright guidelines. Real-world examples: obtaining permission before copying a news story to a blog, giving attribution to our posted image on a website, recognizing limits and protections of free speech and censorship on television, downloading legally purchased music. The history of digital literacy. Digital literacy means acquiring the skills needed to live, learn, and work in a society where communication and information are increasingly accessed through digital technologies such as internet platforms, social media, and mobile devices to do. The general overview of digital literacy. Prior to that, the term computer power was used, but in 1997, historian and educator Paul Gister first coined the term digital literacy, claiming that digital literacy was more than just the ability to use technology. Digital literacy. Digital technology is integrated into our lives. As technology evolves, we want the health and social care workforce to be fully competent, confident, and capable in its use in the workplace. Digital technology is integrated and increasing in our daily lives. It uses intelligent voice recognition and voice activation products. Is this a picture that applies to everyone? When we talk about the digital, us, we exclude a lot. The number of people lacking access and basic digital skills. We define digital literacy as those capabilities that fit someone for living, learning, working, participating, and thriving in a digital society. Here's the example picture of digital literacy. Like most digital competency frameworks, our digital competencies look at it in the plural and describe it in terms of different domains or categories. Each has its own skill set that explains what the staff needs to maximize the potential of the technology. The focus includes not only technical skills, but also various aspects related to knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors in social, cultural, and ethical aspects. Here are the 6 categories of digital literacy. First is digital identity, well-being, safety, and security. Second, communication, collaboration, and participation. Third, teaching, learning, and self-development. Fourth, information, data, and content. Fifth, creation, innovation, and research. Last but not the least, technical proficiency. Remember, to become media literate is not to memorize facts or statistics about the media, but rather to learn to raise the right questions about what you are watching, reading, or listening to. Media literacy has a lot of fundamental elements, and one of these elements is critical thinking, which is thinking about your thinking while you're thinking in order to make your thinking better. An information literate individual can, first, identify the nature and extent of information needed. Second, find needed information effectively and efficiently. Third, evaluate information and its sources critically. Fourth, apply information effectively to accomplish specific purpose. Lastly, acknowledge sources of information and ethical, legal, and socioeconomic issues surrounding information. Also, remember, we define digital literacy as those capabilities that fit someone for living, learning, working, participating, and thriving in a digital society. And it has 6 domains. And these are: first is digital identity, well-being, safety, and security. Second, communication, collaboration, and participation. Third, teaching, learning, and self-development. Fourth, information, data, and content. Fifth, creation, innovation, and research. And lastly, technical proficiency. That's all. Thank you. I hope you learned a lot from this presentation. Again, this is Joanna Marie Legaspi from 12 ABMA. Keep safe and God bless us all.